Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. For any first time viewers, I'm Jesse Rebirth, and today we're going to be getting into this extremely cool collectible. This is the Scout Trooper with speeder bike from the Mandalorian Disney Plus series, I guess you could say. I was going to say TV show, but we don't have Disney Plus anymore. If you've been following me, you know that we're not really big on Disney ever since they fired Gina Carano. That's a personal choice of ours. I really wanted to see a hot toy of Cara Dune, and that might not happen, but I think a third-party company should step in and deliver the goods on that one. But let's keep it here on this figure. Now, I have said this a million times. Growing up, the Scout Trooper has been one of my favorite troopers of all time. I've always loved the way stormtroopers look. Something about their armor, their suits that they wore, knowing it's all practical, really digging it. I love stormtroopers, I love snow troopers, and I love scout troopers. And I've always loved these the most because I think their helmets are just so cool. And I don't know, I know a lot of people do not like Return of the Jedi all that much. They make fun of it. And Empire Strikes Back is definitely my favorite. But Return of the Jedi was so sweet because of the scene where they're going through the trees on these speeder bikes. Now the Mandalorian set obviously comes with a very light white, off-white color for the body and the front right here, where the Return of the Jedi version would be a dark brown. We know Sideshow's already done that. I think Hot Toys kind of likes to space things out from what Sideshow's doing. You know, you don't want to flood the market with too much all at once, but I would absolutely love to get a completely clean Scout Trooper with the brown bike. I would buy another one of these in a heartbeat, especially knowing how awesome this one turned out. With that being said, I am completely on board for the swoop bike from the Mandalorian, the one that he rides, and I believe it's been a very long time since I've read it, but in the book Shadows of the Empire, I believe they wrote a swoop bike in there. I am almost like 90% sure that a swoop bike, I think Dash Rendar was his name. It has been so long, but Luke dressed up as a type of trooper to get in again, and Dash Rendar had that cool ship. They did toys of all these, Prince Xavier. But I swear the swoop bike is the same from one to the other, but who knows. Definitely want to get that Mandalorian swoop bike. I don't know, but I hope it comes with a stand, something like this. I think it's very cool. We got another Grogu to add to the collection right here. He's got an open mouth showing teeth, who you will see later. We compared him with the other two that came with the deluxe set of the Mandalorian. His new armor, the Beskar armor, but absolutely awesome set. You can hook the pouch back here on the speeder bike, or you can put it around him. Be very careful with this. This thing is extremely delicate in certain areas, but if you have the bat pod, you know how delicate these things are. I mean, it's got tons of cool little gadgets that open and close. The Scout Trooper is probably one of the best troopers I've seen yet done. I mean, we've had a bunch of stormtroopers and everything, but this is so well done. Hot Toys absolutely knocks it out of the park on this figure. And just the presentation of all of it. We also have a bendable pole, so you know you can angle him however you would like. And it is extremely sturdy. I mean, the whole thing just fits really well on there. It's movable. It's not something you gotta really be super delicate with while moving it around. You just gotta be careful with all the little intricate parts because those could break very easily. We also got parts that have varying degrees of movement. We'll talk about that here in a bit, how much you can turn them and how much you should or shouldn't. And you will also see some of the difficulties we had getting this to be where it is. I mean, the feet are supposed to be magnetic to the pedals, but you know, you're working with a toy that has limited maneuverability, and it can all be pretty difficult from time to time. But a lot of fun this one was. It's absolutely gorgeous. But let's go ahead, let's watch this thing get opened right now. Alright, so you see that we got this in the classic Hot Toys Star Wars box. This thing is pretty large, but this is going to be the long-awaited Scout Trooper with a speeder bike. I've been waiting for this type of thing forever. You can see right here we got our cool little picture they always take of them. Very cool. Absolutely dig that. Now check this out. We got one layer. I like this. Star Wars right here. We got a very weathered Scout Trooper. We got hands. We got parts. We got a gun. We got a little Grogu here. This is probably like our 5th Grogu by now, I believe. And down here, wow. I kind of thought it would have been longer, but I guess this makes perfect sense right here. We got our base, and we have another base for the Scout Trooper. I like that. We got our bike. And underneath, we got nothing. So, let's go ahead and take a look at our Scout Trooper first. I have been waiting for a Scout Trooper to come along for quite a while. I was just telling Karen the other day that the Scout Trooper was my favorite trooper back in the day, growing up and everything, just because he was so different. This is really cool. It's just there. It's not nothing you can take out. But, all right, we got some parts right here. This is gonna hook on the back of our belt. We got our little gun that goes in the boot holster, a little blaster. Very cool. We got a couple hands, so we're gonna have obviously riding hands. Those actually look... Oh, no. So this is just a gripped hand. This is a riding hand. You can tell those fingers are different. Same with this one. This is just a grip hand. We've got a fist. And a fist. Our Grogu. Adorable. He is the exact same Grogu that came with your Mandalorian deluxe figure. So he's the same one, but this one will go in a bag. Oh, no, his mouth is open, so he is slightly different because we have this Grogu, this Grogu. We got this Grogu. I believe that's all the Grogus we got right now, but you can see this one has got just kind of a little bit of his teeth showing, not much going on. This one's got the closed mouth on him. And this one has a open mouth. All right, we got a little that's cleared up. Knapsack that he's gonna go in. I dig this, I like this little thing. You know, it looks like the little medals that the Imperial soldiers wear on their, I forget the technical name. You gotta remember, I fell out of Star Wars for a very long time because I absolutely hate Disney Star Wars. Like The Mandalorian, and I like Rogue One, but all the shit I had to listen to about Star Wars for so long, I just despised Star Wars, and it was sad because I love the original trilogy so much, and Disney just absolutely kills everything you care about. It's a personal opinion. I know other people differ major on it, and I know a lot of people feel exactly the way I do. I've even met some people that I thought, just by we'll say their social group, basically, I thought that they would like the new Star Wars movies, and they don't even like them. We won't elaborate on that any, but yeah, I think more people dislike those movies than a lot of people think. I also got some really normal friends who know nothing about identity politics, none of this nonsense going on, and they like the Star Wars movies. They like watching them with their kids. They just think they're just Disney Star Wars movies. They don't realize any of the ulterior motives behind them, and if they enjoy them for that, then good for them. It's not something I could enjoy, though. Even before I knew how to explain it, I absolutely did not like 7. I did not know how to explain what I was seeing because I wasn't quite aware of everything going on in like the comic book world, and I couldn't name what an SJW was. I just did not know what it was, but I knew what they were, and I knew I did not like it. Wow, this Scout Trooper is a really well done figure. Sorry to just jump back and forth like that. I hate when they tape these parts right here because it is so hard to get it off when you don't prepare ahead of time with some scissors. His boot would be a little scary to use scissors on though in the first place, because this is something I mentioned in a couple of my other videos. A lot of these toys have like a sculpted boot, and some of them actually have fabric boots. Like the original Darth Vader has fabric boots, Han Solo has fabric boots, Obi-Wan Kenobi has fabric boots. There we go. And you can see he has these fabric boots. They look really cool too. They look good on him. Not saying anything bad about it. And I mean, this toy, we're on like what generation of, you know, troopers being made now? Look at how nice that fits in there. But they know what they're doing. We're talking the first generation figures though had the fabric boots, and sometimes they look a little funny. You got these little pieces that are, they don't form fit them exactly like how you would see a Batman boot for a Hot Toy form fitting. Or maybe even like Superman back here. He's got fabric boots, but they fit him really well. And it's not something I ever paid attention to a long time ago until I started kind of making videos. Wow. This Scout Trooper is incredible. Now it's like I was saying before in the intro that I really wanted them to do a Return of the Jedi Scout Trooper, you know, where they would have been completely clean and the bikes would have been a darker color and everything. I do think that's coming though. I think what they'll do is now that this thing is releasing, we're gonna get that Return of the Jedi Trooper, and then for people like me, they're gonna get our money twice, because they will have got our money with this version, and then they will do just enough. They'll have that clean suit, they'll have that dark brown bike and everything. They're gonna grab our money for a second time, just because I really want that Return of the Jedi look. So we got our little pack on his back. There we go. Very cool. Scout Troopers have always been my favorite. They're so sweet. I really like Snow Troopers, and I was an idiot and completely missed the Snow Trooper at the time. I don't know why, but we have the original Stormtroopers. We got the Disguise Stormtrooper. Still got to open Han Solo Disguise Stormtrooper, but we are not making that mistake anymore of missing them. I know the Snow Trooper came out right at that time. I was kind of falling out of Star Wars. And I know that's not like a good reason to miss out on one of your favorite troopers. I've just always loved the way it looked with Darth Vader and those Snow Troopers walking into the Rebel base on Hoth. I just thought that was so cool. Look at this. This is way cool. Look at the detail on his strap right here. These little, you know, where your belt, basically, the holes for the prongs would go in. This is very cool. Very, very cool. Wow. I love it. I definitely think The Mandalorian has reignited a lot of love for Star Wars with those original fans. And then they have to go and do something stupid like fire Gina Carano, which absolutely turned us all off of Star Wars right there again. So we'll see if anything ever picks back up with The Mandalorian. I know people are saying it will, people are saying it won't. I told Karen even before, and I know a lot of you have heard me say this before, but I thought even once he handed Grogu over to Luke Skywalker, I was like, I don't know where this show is going to go from here. Because, like it or not, I love Mando, but everyone else was tuning in for the little baby. And there's, like, that's just a given. So, this is sweet. Now, I do know Sideshow did the original speeder bikes before, just like Sideshow's done a Jabba the Hutt. I had the first Jabba the Hutt Sideshow did, and I ended up selling it, which I don't regret because the new Sideshow Jabba the Hutt is super cool. But I kind of sold it when Hot Toys started doing Star Wars figures, because I said, you know what, down the road Hot Toys will do a Jabba the Hutt, and it will be the supreme Jabba the Hutt. It will be the exact one we want and we've waited for. I know Hot Toys helped Sideshow with a lot of their early Star Wars figures, like they helped them with their Darth Vader from the he's a really early Darth Vader, maybe even their first, but it was like the evil of the universe or something. I don't remember. It's like 10 plus years now. But there's our Scout Trooper on his base. Yep, Star Wars Scout Trooper. It's got that dark kind of volcanic looking ground like in that episode. I did tell Karen I think it would have been cool to get 2 of them where they could sit on their bikes next to each other like in the show, but that would just be crazy because we don't even know exactly where we're going to put the one for now. Sounds like a Scout Trooper outside. Alright. So, we got ourselves the part that's going to screw in. Go ahead and slide him right up here. This will be how our bike hooks to the base. Look at how badass this thing is. The one thing I was kind of wondering, these are our handles. So dainty, so delicate. If you have the bat pod from The Dark Knight, that thing is so delicate, so dainty. But I remember my old toy, I guess they just sit on the ground like that, but I remember the old toy would balance just right. I do not know how true to form that is. So we got 2 magnets right here. We'll figure out what that goes to. Before we go too far, we should probably consult our instructions. Let's take a look at this. I can tell you right now though, this thing is sweet. Alright, we got Scout Trooper and Speeder Bike. Everything from there. So right away, it tells us that our blaster can go in the boot as shown. Slip the thermal detonator onto the back of the belt as shown. Complete as shown. Alright, I wonder if they did anything we missed. No, just that. All right, now we do have handle grips can be attached onto the speeder bike in the sequence as shown. So, this one is going to be our right side. Well, this one's going to be our left. Now what they're showing is this little part slips in there. Okay, it turns. That little part slips in there. Okay, so maybe we should do the handle like that. We'll slip that in at the same time like that. So you are gonna have to kind of push it in. Even though it's gonna scare you, you gotta just kind of go for it. How cool. Wow. Alright, so this one should be easier now that we know how we did the first one. It's gonna just go in. Sure. Oh, jeez, this piece is like a very light plastic. Feels like you could snap that so easily, not meaning to. There we go. Oh wow, those can go way in there. All right. Check it out. It's got this, that is so cool. It's got this little kind of corded tube that hooks to the blaster underneath, how they aim them. Oh, that is so sweet. This looks to be like a turbine engine, basically, of some kind. These can be aimed. Remember how they connect them in Return of the Jedi and get them stuck? Oh, wow. Alright, don't mess with those. But you can see all of our little gears here. All these little things, all these little buttons and switches. Very cool. These have to open. Yep. Very cool. How sweet is that? Alright. Over the years, there have been some really cool Scout Trooper statues too. Like there's one where the bike's there and the Scout Trooper's like leaning on it. Oh, so cool. Yeah, that was a Gentle Giant statue too. So, let me take a look here. I would like to see how they show us they are. See, I thought he wore it too. But it depends on what you want to do with them. Because they are showing you that you can take this pack So they show you that you can take this, and what you would do is you would lift each of these up. And then it sits on the back just like that. How flippin' cool is that? That is awesome. So I don't know. I mean, you can decide whether you want this on there. So detach indicated bike parts, place the bag strap on the bike, then attach the bike parts to secure position. Fold the strap in the bag in the sequence and direction as shown. So I'm assuming that would be standard issue, because I believe that's how it was in the show. It was attached to the back. I would have to re-watch that. So our gun, it's showing. Can slide down here a little bit. And that would be how it aims out and forward without shooting its own area. And it also, okay, so they're telling you lower the cannon to rotate in the angle of direction as indicated. You only got a 60 degrees window where you can do this. These rotate 30 degrees out in this way. They do not want you pushing them into each other. These can move 60 degrees forward and backward, but I don't really want to do that because they're very delicate. And then this part moves 120 degrees, while our handles, like I was showing you, move 80 degrees. These parts. Very cool. Now, we need to figure out what those two magnets are for that I just had here. I kind of think they might go down here. I bet. Let's see. Yep. His feet are magnetic. See that? Oh, so cool. Check this out. Once these are down, very scared to do this. Look at that. The pedals move at 30 degrees because that's how they accelerate and everything. Alright, so it's shown us that what we do is there's a little pillow in here. We take the pillow out, we put Grogu in. It is showing us how to lock the bike on. They want it completely in there, safe and secure. They're showing us that we got certain hands and what they want us to do with these. Alright, so the only thing you've missed was about 10 minutes of gently shaking the shit out of this thing until we could locate the magnet again, which had fallen in again. I thought it went up here somewhere. Somehow it made it into the back. We sanded a little corner and around the back, and I got it to slide in there perfectly. So that's all you've missed. That's where we're at. What I was thinking now is we're gonna pop this bike. See, it says that's not good enough. You have to make it, let's see. So they want you to line it up perfectly. You know what? This would probably be easier to attach to the bike and then the base, but oh, we got it. It's in there. Alright, you see how it went all the way in? They got this little picture to show you that they don't want this piece hanging out. They want it up inside. So, you can see we got a little hexagon basically that had to go in there. We're going to turn it about like that. I think that'll be good. That's probably the most solid we can get it. Now, something that can only bring back nightmares of the Resident Evil 5 figures is these little buckle things. We're gonna have to pull this out. So yeah, you missed me. I took this back off of here again too. I figured I want him to wear it. We're gonna pull out this little tiny cushion. Look at this little baby pillow. And we're gonna put Grogu in it. Jeez, it's kind of a little hole for a big figure to go in. You think they would have gave you a Grogu without his hand sticking up. Maybe they think that's how we want this. Whoa. It shows his hand being in there, so. Yeah, and then it does not complete as shown. They don't want it closed at all. So we're gonna put this back on him. Very cool. I think, personally, I would have him stick out a little more. There we go. You can see him on there. Now, I think what I said earlier was wrong. I was giving it some thought. I'm pretty sure this hand, with the fingers slightly open, would be for holding our gun. Let's check my theory real quick. Because it is a tiny little baby blaster. Yep. See right there how only 2 fingers hold on to it. Pew, pew, pew. Alright, you know that we could use his blaster while he's on the bike. That's always a possibility. But we're going to take his hands off. Ooh, that's cool. That's a rubber part. I dig that. It's like it's his gloves. They go far up. Now, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but stormtroopers in the first movie wore dishwasher gloves. You always think all this stuff looks so professional until you start doing some research and you find out that they literally were just using whatever they could. And a lot of the things were asymmetrical, like they did not line up correctly. Now, this guy is designed to sit, and it's cool because you can feel everything's kind of moving around in here. He's got some cushioning. It's kind of moving around to help us out. So let's take a look. There is a hold, but it's not like the strongest hold in the world. It doesn't just keep his feet connected to it. We probably need to angle them a little bit to go with it. This one too. Alright, let's get his hands up here and then we'll mess with everything. So he's gonna go, whoops. It's not a hot toy if it doesn't fall apart. Really dig the weathering to his boots here too. They look really good. All that work for a magnet that doesn't even really stick. Alright. We're gonna do this the cheater way. Just to be careful. This is so dainty, so delicate. I know they say the flap is supposed to barely show, but maybe we could do something like that. Does that look good?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that does. That looks just fine. So we got some extra joints. We got a base that you're probably never going to use, but I assume it came with the single speeder bike. And we got the Mandalorian Scout Trooper. Very cool. Let's get these little flaps open just a little bit. We could turn this that way. I mean, it is cool. We could always do the like Return of the Jedi thing. And I know we just tried so hard to get this all correct.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's just leave it for right now. But we could always take his hand off of it and have him aiming his little blaster out like they did. Now I do want you to come in and see these boots though. You see the fabric on them? It's a very nice boot, and I think, yep, it's Velcroed down the back. It's very cool, very weathered. Everything about this trooper is weathered. His back part, his helmet, just like all the troopers in The Mandalorian. I don't know where I heard it. I was listening to a book, I think. I don't remember, but someone was saying how, you know, all sci-fi up until the point of Star Wars was very clean and very smooth and very like sterile looking in cinema, and then all of a sudden here comes Star Wars and everything's like really old and gritty and weathered and falling apart, and it just changed the whole game. It's really cool to kind of think about that. Like with the Mandalorian, you see the remnant troopers. They're dirty, they've been around forever. They do not have new armor. This is the armor they had when the Empire fell, basically. Oh, I'm listening to the books by Timothy Zahn, and they're Timothy Zahn. They're the ones that directly follow Return of the Jedi. So it's got Grand Admiral Thrawn, and I know the one it was like Heir to the Empire, The Rise of Darkness. I don't know, but I just picked up the third one where I listened to books at, and I can't wait to listen to it. I'm thoroughly enjoying those. I wish, it's kind of sad because you think with all the money Star Wars pulled in all the way back then, that they could have just kept, well, yeah, I know these books came out, you know, literally not too, like 10 plus years ago, and they're still coming out. But you think they could have started making better Star Wars movies a while ago, using all these expanded universe books. Man, you could have had so much cool stuff happening in that universe. But, you know, we're doomed to not ever have that because we no longer have Princess Leia. Han Solo's getting up there in years. I know he died in number 7, but I don't really consider those movies canon. But this takes place obviously before 7, right after Return of the Jedi, some years. And this is incredible. Now I will say, when they do the Return of the Jedi version, I know Sideshow's already done it. I know they did a clean Scout Trooper and they did the brown bike, but when Hot Toys does it and we get the clean Scout Trooper, this will be dark brown all through here. We will be getting that one too. It'll be absolutely awesome. But we'll end this right here. I hope you guys truly enjoyed this video. I hope if you were sitting on the fence with this, I answered some questions for you. It is truly awesome to behold. I mean, look at that. It's insane that this is where we're at with 1/6 toys. I mean, look at all these tiny little things that it tells you to be very careful about, not to break. This is where we're at with 1/6 toys. I remember when I saw that they were doing the Bat Pod and the Batmobile, I was like, oh my goodness, those are so big. How is this ever going to happen? And now we're getting cool things like speeder bikes. We're getting Mandalorian's swoop bike. We're getting the Blurg that they ride on. Like, I mean, they're going all out with these. I just saw that they're doing King Shark. I'm not really interested in the new Suicide Squad movie, but I'm very interested in the hot toys, like the King Shark. I'm super excited about the XE suit, Batman from Arkham Origins. Been saying this a long time, and they're doing it, that they should be putting out Arkham figures slowly, one at a time. Don't burn people out on it. Do it, let people get them all, and give them space between them. And I just saw that they're doing a Doctor Strange in an Iron Man suit, and people went nuts. Like, why this professional kit bash? I even was like, this thing's ridiculous. But I get it, it's concept art. Some people might want it. To each their own. You don't have to buy these things. I keep trying to tell people that you don't have to buy everything they put out. You got to pick and choose what you want. But this, incredibly cool. And I know that the swoop bike is only like $200 and something. I know the Bat Pod is $285. I mean, in today's time, that's the cost of a figure, basically. It used to be that the figures were like $180, and then the bike was like close to $300, and it was like, wow, that's expensive. But now, if you're willing to spend the money on the figure, you're basically getting a bike for the same price as the figure. I believe this set was $450. So he's $280 on his own. So I mean, you do the math, you're getting a pretty good deal there. But this is absolutely awesome. I mean, it's huge. It's gonna go on a shelf just like that. It's very sturdy. You see how I can just pick it up, play with it. Yeah, pretty cool. Absolutely love it. I think this was a huge win for us as collectors. I think it's a great piece. I love everything about it. But let me know what you thought about this figure. Let me know what you thought about this video. If you haven't already, like and subscribe to my channel. And most of all, guys, remember, keep buying toys. Ha ha ha!